Hey guys, it's day 36, and today we're in Mark chapter 14. Now, what's kind of cool about the way Mark writes his account of the life of Jesus is it's action-packed. It's filled with a lot of snippets here, there, and everywhere, and it's really kind of hard to read this chapter because there's so much going on. It's Mark 14, and it begins with the scribes and the chief priests and stuff conniving on how to kill Jesus. It moves to Judas being the one who comes and says he'd be willing to turn him over. It goes to the Passover that Jesus celebrates with his disciples, which is where he gives us that meal, communion, the Lord's Supper, that awesome tangible means of grace, that sacrament that we celebrate. And from there it goes to the Mount of Olives, where Jesus goes to pray. And he calls out to God just like any one of us. It goes from that to when Judas shows up again to betray Jesus. From that to him being before the council. And then to Peter denying Jesus just as Jesus had predicted. It's packed with the action of those last moments. The last probably day, maybe two, of Jesus' life. So what sticks out to you when you read it? What pops off the page? For me this time, reading through it, it was when Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane. When he goes up to this place, he asks his disciples to sit and pray with him. You know, and we're in times of distress, it's nice to know we have people praying for us, right? People thinking about us. People lifting it up. And so Jesus invites his disciples to pray, and they probably really don't know what to pray. And Jesus goes off by himself, and as he's sitting there, he's crying out, "Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not my will, but what you will." Not my will, but what you will. I mean, that is the absolute human moment in Jesus' life. A moment where he knows what he's going to do. A moment where he is preparing to literally take our sin upon himself. Paul puts it this way. He says, "He who knew no sin became sin, that he might be the perfect sacrifice." And as I read this today, I'm just drawn into the story. I'm drawn into seeing Jesus stand there and go, "God, just provide a way. There's got to be something." Because as humans, that's how we respond when trouble hits, right? We cry out. We ask for help. We call upon friends. We call upon something to give us aid. Even Jesus called out to his Father in heaven and said, "God, just get rid of this, please." And yet his statement is what is so beautiful. His statement, "Not what I will, but what you will." It's the perfect obedience of Jesus. It's a question that would be hard for a lot of us to respond to. If Jesus said, "Go and die," would we say, "Okay"? Would we go? Would we be willing to sacrifice our comfort, our life, our stuff for the world? Not just for those good in the world, but for those evil in the world, for those who we hate in the world. Would we be willing to go and die? I thank God that that's not what he asks of us. But it was what he asked of Jesus. And it's amazing And I love that he was willing to say those words and to go and die and to take my sin upon the cross. So read Mark 14 today. And if you'd like, comment or post what stuck out to you as you read Mark's action-packed snippets of the last day or so of Jesus' life. See you guys tomorrow.